Standing in Lake Turkana, Kenyan-born Ikal Ongale knows how important this resource is to her country. Just over the border from Ethiopia, Lake Turkana is the largest desert lake in the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The people here depend on the lake for everything: water, food, life. And Ongale, who formed the group Friends of Lake Turkana, has made it her mission to protect it.
In 2008, I was informed that there was a construction of a hydroelectric dam on the Omo River.
If the dam known as Gibe 3 is completed, it will be the largest hydroelectric plant in Africa, providing more than 1,800 megawatts of electricity to surrounding areas. But since the Omo River, which flows from Ethiopia into Lake Turkana, provides 80% of the lake's water, critics argue that the environmental impact of the dam would outweigh any benefits. The Ethiopian government has maintained that the overall effect would be positive and would bring power to the millions of Ethiopians who have no electricity. Electricity would also be sold to Ethiopia's neighbors. An environmental NGO, the African Resources Working Group, says the dam could cause water levels to drop by 7 to 10 meters within 5 years of its construction, and eventually the water would be undrinkable due to increased saline levels.
I went and started consulting with the elders and the women and the leaders and asked them if they knew about the construction of the dam. And what they told me was no one had consulted them, they didn't even know about it.
When she started her crusade to save the lake, Ongale knew getting the community involved would be crucial.
Having grown up with my father, who was a lot integrating with the community, his work made him work within the community. I tended to tag along with him for meetings and just see how things were done, how he discussed with the elders, with the women, how he just related with the greater community. And for me, that was something I admired about him. I didn't understand why he did it, because I used to think, well, you could just come in and make decisions. You're the big man here. But he said, you cannot make decisions without the people's support, because eventually they'll get enough information to come and finish you up. So he always made sure that he was working with them.
But even with this approach, gaining support was a slow process.
Raising money for advocacy is very hard, especially in an area where I think issues of food security, maternal health, education seem to be a priority. And so getting more people interested in discussing it, and even in the community, it was a lot harder, because they kept saying, well, we can't have food for today, and how can we help you with a campaign? So it was really a challenge at first.
Ongale's fight has come a long way. Recently awarded with the 2012 Goldman Environmental Prize, she has lobbied partners in the project to pull out. Several, including the World Bank and the African Development Bank, withdrew their support because of environmental concerns. But a Chinese company remains a large investor in the dam, and construction at Gibe 3 continues, one of the more than a dozen dams being built in Ethiopia. But Ongale is not discouraged. In fact, she's just started.
Not just Africa, the greater world needs more people who are looking at environment, and not just the bigger parts. It can be a stream, it can be a little shade, it can be plastics, because we have a chance